Hi, I'm Vic Iyer, Senior Content Strategist, CIO Marketing Services. Savvy enterprises are increasingly realizing that it makes sense to tap into the internet backbone for their connectivity needs. Connecting to the backbone, essentially the internet's core, which links the largest and fastest networks, can boost resilience and improve performance. Enterprises which understand the importance of connectivity to digitally driven growth are taking advantage. In this webcast brought to you by CIO.com with Arelion, we'll find out why more companies should be investigating what might be technology's best kept secret. Joining me to discuss this topic is Matthias Friedstrom, Chief Evangelist at Arelion. And before we get into this fascinating discussion, let's find out a little bit more about Matthias. Matthias, it's great to speak with you. Could you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, thank you very much, Vic, and happy to be here. So, yeah, my background is really that I've been in this company pretty much since I left university. I'm an engineer from the beginning to the degree. I started on the submarine cable side, but quickly went on to land cables and so on. And I was here when we founded the company. We were owned by Telia then, so we were called Telia Carrier for many, many years. I've had many roles in that company. I was the CTO for many years. And since a couple of years ago, I changed my role to become the chief evangelist to pretty much teach and educate people more about connectivity and why connectivity is such an important area, both for enterprises, but also for operators and hyperscalers and whoever are using services on the internet. So that's me. Happy to be here.
Thank you, Matthias. And I mean, that's an incredible experience. You must have seen so much change over that time. Connectivity is an absolutely critical part, I think, of digital transformation. It's going to drive growth and success in so many businesses. But are technology leaders giving this area enough focus? Are there potential opportunities being missed?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. I think that's something I've been experiencing the last couple of years. When I talk to enterprises, I feel that they understand that connectivity is important, but I also feel that a lot of other things are coming in the way of connectivity. They focus a lot on servers and server sites and Kubernetes and everything around, how much compute and how much storage should I have in the cloud or where should I have that. And in some way, connectivity gets lost in this big puzzle. And when you talk to the network engineers and enterprises, yeah, you find them quite far down in the organization, focusing on small pieces on their connectivity. I often come across companies who worked with the same vendor for the last 15 years, and they just said, that works okay, but that's not a big focus for us. And I think connectivity can really make a difference for enterprises. I think there's a lot of things they can do towards their own connectivity, towards they handle their own network. There are so many things coming around the corner. And I think they should spend more time thinking about their connectivity need and how they use connectivity in their day-to-day life, because connectivity is critical for almost every country and every company around the world.
Yeah, absolutely, Matthias. And perhaps you can tell us a little bit about how you think enterprises should connect to the cloud.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good question. I think there is a kind of a misunderstanding out there that you have to connect to the cloud through a data center where one of the co-location provider will host some of the clouds. These on-ramp services that everyone talks about. I think that's not really true. That's one way of connecting the cloud, but I think you can actually, as an enterprise, go directly to your operator and ask them to connect you to the cloud. We in Arelion are connected to about 40 different cloud around the globe, both in North America and in Europe and in Asia. And therefore, we can help enterprises connect to the cloud. I also think enterprises shouldn't really focus on one cloud only. I think they should have some in the private cloud, some in the public cloud. Various public clouds are good for various different reasons. And I think, we can connect them pretty much to any cloud they need to be connected to without going through a data center where they have to pay for the capacity twice. So I think, enterprises should really call their operators and ask them, what type of options do I have and how can I handle this going forward?
Yes, that's a really interesting perspective, Matthias. Now, one I think fascinating element of all of this is speed. Businesses know this is an essential element for AI innovation, real-time decision making, and customer experience, among other things. But enterprises don't necessarily need ultra-fast speed for everything they do. Now, is there a solution to this particular problem, Matthias?
Absolutely. And again, I think this is one of the big misunderstandings in the world, that everything needs to be super fast, super close, ultra low delay to everything. And I think that's not really true. If you're in the high frequency trading business and you want to buy the stocks tomorrow with sort of no downtime or anything, then absolutely delay is critical for you. If you're in the gaming industry, obviously when the servers are closer to you when you play, the better your experience is going to be. But for most of the traffic that everyone is using, ultra low latency is not critical. I think there will be some things around AI that need low latency, but I think it's more important that you have the right latency, the same latency, and that stuff. And therefore, I think, in the future, data centers shouldn't really be built downtown New York or downtown Ashburn or downtown Dallas. I think we should build them where they should be built, where there is green power, sustainability is much better, there's cheap power, a lot of land for free, and so on. So I think, yeah, some applications need very low latency. Some other applications could be placed on the moon, and you wouldn't sort of have any bad experience of using them. So I think people need to understand that not everything needs ultra low latency and should cost a fortune. I think a lot of what you do can be located in a data center, not super far away from where you are, but where they should be located, and you will have a fantastic experience using that anyway.
Thank you, Matthias. And resilience is a key objective now for businesses and technology teams. According to Foundry's 2023 Security Priorities Study, the most common security incidents come from third party individuals or organizations. Does going direct increase resilience? And if so, for what reasons?
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right there. Going directly to the source, and we can bring customers directly to their data that they have in the cloud or that they have in their own data centers. That is, of course, the less handovers you have in the network, the better service it is, both from a security point of view, but also from an availability point of view and scalability and everything that comes with that. So, of course, I can really see the need for having as few partners involved as possible, and that's where operators like us can come in and make sure that that traffic is transferred. Obviously, if you buy from someone who's buying from someone and you buy from someone, that handover will introduce a lot of security threats in the chain of your capacity going there. Then, of course, when people talk about security, I think the biggest threat is obviously your own personnel, always being, if they mishandle passwords or anything, that's your biggest thing. But after that, I think there is a lot of things the operators can do to make sure that enterprises traffic is much more secure than it has been before. If the traffic is less critical, you can absolutely use the public internet. But if you have some type of criticality in your traffic, an operator can make sure that traffic stays within their own network and therefore never touch anything outside. And for intruders, that's the hardest thing to break into.
Thank you, Matthias. Are you also able to analyze traffic patterns and potentially take actions to further enhance security in that regard?
No, absolutely. We, as many operators, have a DDoS service that we can sell to our customers. That makes sure that we look at the traffic patterns of what they have. We compare that to how it looked yesterday, how it looked the day before that. And then any anomaly in that type of traffic pattern, we can see, and we can therefore very early detect that something is going on here that shouldn't be here. And there we can filter out that traffic based on the source of the traffic. So we can see where the traffic comes from. If the source is not correct or the source is not where it used to come from, we filter away that traffic and we don't stop any legitimate traffic for that enterprise. So of course we do study the traffic patterns of every customer we have, and we're trying to find things that we don't believe are right. If we are in doubt, then we can always call the enterprise and say, hey, you suddenly receive a lot of traffic from this source. Is that true? Do you want that traffic? Uh, they can say, yeah, we've just bought a new application in that cloud. That's normal traffic, let it go. Or they can say, no, we're under attack, help us. So I think studying traffic patterns is extremely important, and it's just going to be increasingly important going forward.
Yes, absolutely, Matthias. It's such a critical area, and so many CIOs are concerned by it. 31% of respondents report that cost control remains one of their focus areas. How can using the internet as backbone help businesses optimize their expenditure?
Yeah, no, I think that's a very good question and a very interesting question because, of course, not all traffic path and not all the way we can handle the traffic has the same cost and the same price on the market. So I think if an enterprise reach out to an operator like us, we can easily explain to them that, for this type of traffic that's super critical, always needs to be there and always needs to work, you should buy this service and it comes at that cost, which is a bit higher than the traffic over here that is not super critical for you. If it doesn't work perfect 99.99999% of the time, you would be fine anyway. So I think what they can do from a cost point of view is approach their operator and say, hey, I don't want to buy the same traffic pattern for absolutely all of my traffic. If I have a small office in Vancouver or I have a small office in Tampa, maybe a connection to the public internet is good enough for them because they're going to do some mailing, they're going to do some applications in the cloud. Maybe that's fine if it doesn't work 100% every day. But if you have your financial data in a data center close to your office, you want that traffic to be up and running all the time. Obviously, you shouldn't pay the same price for these type of connections. And therefore, approach your operator. There is a lot of cost to be saved by an operator. I think so many enterprises I meet, and I can see that they pay the same price for absolutely everything. And they are like, yeah, it works fine. I think there is money to be saved here for enterprises if they approach their operator.
Thank you, Matthias. And your experience in connectivity over so many years almost gives Arelion a guru quality in this field. How does that translate in terms of customer service and in comparison to other vendors?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good question. I think we have a long experience here. I think the connectivity industry, operators and everyone else have been extremely manual. We have worked super manual and we have serviced our customers very manual. But I think all of these experiences are now coming to, there is a lot of automation discussions with AI approaching. There's a lot more we can do to our customers. We have seen over the years what they have asked us and what they want to see from us. They want to see their billing data. They want to see whenever we have a planned work in the network. They want to see when things are upgraded or downgraded. I think what we have learned over the years is that if we can provide this data to the customers before they even ask for it, then that's a big benefit and they would feel that they are taken care of and that we care about them and that we want them to success. And I think that's the experience we in Arelion bring with 25 years in this industry, because this industry is pretty much only 25 years. So I think we were here from the beginning. We can use all that experience in making sure that our customers are getting the tools they need to make sure that they can operate their networks successfully and don't need to call us or ask us every time there is something going on. So I think all of the experience we have, we will make sure that that's at the hands of our customers going forward.
Thank you, Matthias. And with digital innovation surging, the emergence of AI being one example, what are your thoughts on the future of connectivity?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I don't think really anyone knows. I think when 5G came around for five years ago, people felt, oh, this is going to be dramatically changed. I don't think it has dramatically changed that much. Yeah, you have much better mobile connectivity in many places, but anything you could do with Wi-Fi and 4G are pretty much similar to what you could do with 5G. But what I see now with AI coming around the corner, there's so many more things you can do and so many things you can automate, so many things you can make so much simpler. So I really think the next coming years in terms of connectivity is going to be dramatic to quite a number of customers. Many enterprises will do a lot of things very different and they will use these new functionalities in ways we haven't seen before. So I think, for us connectivity provider, it's going to mean a lot more traffic to take care of, which is good. We will do our best to take care of all that traffic, of course. But I think for enterprises, they should really start to think about, okay, how can we introduce AI, automation, and everything in the daily operations? And here, we as operators will be behind them, support them with more traffic needs, connect them to the right clouds in the right areas, and so on. So I think, yeah, we haven't really seen the future of connectivity, but it's going to be really, really interesting the next coming years. What this is going to pan out to.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think it's going to be absolutely fascinating with so many different technologies emerging. And we're coming to the end of this fascinating discussion on what may well be technology's best kept secret. What final thoughts would you leave our audience with, Matthias?
No, I just want them to leave here with the feeling that connectivity is important. Connectivity is not just one thing. Connectivity can be many, many things. Talk to your operators, talk to your suppliers. What type of options are there? We can do Ethernet stuff, we can do wavelength stuff, we can do IPVPN stuff, we can do connectivity over the public internet. There's so many things we can do. It's not one size fits all, which I believe many enterprises still believe there is. They've heard that you need to connect to the big boys and they are the only one that can do this. No, it's not. There are so many options around. Explore these options with your operators. We in Arelion would be happy to talk to every one of them. We can explain to them everything we can do, and I think that's what I want to leave everyone with. This is a really cool field. Explore it.
Yeah, it's a great point on which to leave it. It does bring us to the end of this webcast on the value of connecting direct to the internet backbone, brought to you by CIO with Arelion. I'd like to thank Matthias for sharing his expert insight, as well as everyone who tuned in. Goodbye.